So today we're going to talk about, once again, the law of the lid, right?
First, I want to say this chapter is really parallel to where I'm at in my business, as the law of the lid is the ability to determine your effectiveness. The lid is kind of the how effective you are in leadership.
And so if your leadership ability is high, then the higher the lid on his or her potential, and vice versa. So if the leadership ability is lackluster or low, then the lower that person's potential. Two brothers lived in New Hampshire, John and Maurice McDonald. They had a idea to start this business, right? And so this was during the 1930s.
Did they really have vision? Or was it just about money? Because they were successful at doing the doing part, as we know, the doing it. But they weren't successful at seeing beyond the doing. And so how many of us are in that space right now that we got the doing down, like myself? We have to have the leadership abilities to take the lid off. And when I was thinking about lid, I was like, okay, lid holds things in. We've got to raise the lid, which is our leadership. But they were still running in place because they weren't really making the strides as a CEO. They were just business owners. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to be just business owners. We want to run a world-class company, which is going to require us to really take an assessment of what is your motivation? Why are you doing what you're doing? We all talk about purpose, but purpose is not a position. Not a position. Purpose is more than that. Okay? So I think that's part of the reason they kind of went to the left. You know, they were thinking money, we're making money, but they were running in place, just running in place. And how many of us are, I know I've been running in place. I mean, making little strides here and there, but not really taking the leap, which is why Mr. Ray Kroc, that's what he did. He took the leap. And so going back to their story. So as they were in, getting success, and then Ray Kroc comes on the scene and he's like, okay, I see something here. And it was something that the McDonald's brothers didn't see, because their attention may have not been on the vision where they could really go. Yes, they talked about franchising, but they didn't take it further out. 1930s, $200,000 was, well, right, that's a lot of money, but they were still running in place because they didn't take the necessary steps to take it to a world-class company, which is what Ray Kroc did.
Now with Ray, when he saw the McDonald brothers business, he saw their speedy service, he saw their system, it was not hard for him to see the vision, because he was a man of ambition. He still wanted to be more, do more, have more. He wanted those things. But it seems like he had great businesses, but he hadn't found that vehicle that was going to take him where he really and ultimately wanted to go. When he saw that McDonald's system and their speedy service and how they did things and how they did business, it was easy for him to catch that vision. And instead of just going out and being a great manager of a technician of a system, what he did is he bought rights to it, he put the leaders in place, and he began to market that system. I actually was watching a special on it to where when he bought that McDonald's rights, he put his own McDonald's up in Illinois, kept it clean, kept it spotless, and he advertised, instead of just trying to make $1 off that McDonald's, he advertised it to different people. He marketed it. He was a great marketer. So now other people bought into those franchises. Other people did different things. There was other things that he did I think that was genius. Instead of just marketing that system, he also bought rights to the land. So wherever McDonald's you put land, wherever McDonald's you build, you got to build on the land that he rents. So he still gets paid no matter what. I thought that was great too.
And so our leadership ability, let's talk about that for a minute. Our leadership ability determines our level of effectiveness. I never thought about that before. I don't know about you, you may have, but I did it. I just have to be honest. My leadership ability affects the level of my effectiveness. The effectiveness in my business, my effectiveness in my home, my effectiveness in my decision making, my effectiveness with my team. And the higher a person, John Maxwell says that the higher a person's ability to lead, the higher the lid on their potential. Get that? The higher the level of your ability to lead, not the fact that you are a leader, but your ability to lead is the lid on your potential, where you can go, how high you can go. You know, we always talk about in the corporate world, the glass ceiling. We can go past the glass ceiling when we become effective leaders. And vice versa. The lower a person's ability to lead, the lower the lid. It's a choice. But be thankful that we have the capacity within us to develop our ability to lead. Which one are you going to choose this morning? The ability to go higher, the ability to lead, the ability to focus on your tools so that you can get to that purpose and that plan, use that passion. Are you willing to put in the work? So I want to ask you this one thing. If you would in the comments, what's one thing that affects our ability to lead?
So in the E-Myth book that we're reading, it talked about technicians, managers and entrepreneurs. And so at this point, the brothers had become really good managers and they had reached the lid of their potential. So their leadership ability had pretty much reached the lid at that point.
So he one of the things, or what some of the things of Ray Kroc that I noticed in the story that he did that we all should be doing is making sacrifices today. So that way we can reap the benefits of our fruit later. Ray Kroc sacrificed his country club membership. How many of us are still maybe not spending wisely? Because I do believe what we do in our personal life does ease over into our business life. Just because you have a great idea doesn't mean that your habits are going to change because you've got this great idea. You have to be committed to the sacrifices that have to be made in order to reach your goal, to be more effective as the lid. Raise your lid to be more effective. So that was one thing. He also hired the best and the recruited the best, the sharpest minds. Now, that's where I'm at today, making sure that we have the sharpest minds on our team. I think part of the reason why we don't have the sharpest minds on our team, and I can say this for myself, is there's some sort of fear there. It could be the fear of, can I afford them? Maybe not, maybe. Or could it be the fear that I don't want to give up that control and that power? Now, your vision is not for you. And it could, and if you could do it, you would already did it by yourself. So your vision is bigger than you. So it's going to have to encompass many other people to bring it to fruition, to be manifested in the earth, right? So we have to get over being fearful of hiring the best and often. Mr. Doris says all the time, you got to recruit the best and often. I'm a living witness that I didn't do that good of a job of that. So one of the reasons why I've not been on the class on a regular, because I'm here at the store by myself. And so that's about to change though. And everything's about to change because the light bulb came on. You want to hire the best and often and not be afraid of the dollar. Because if you can put the systems in place as we are getting training on, you can afford them because they become free to you. So it's just knowing how to put the formula together your your goal statement, and making sure everything clicks. But that's your job, is to make sure everything clicks, and then you hire them, right?
How am I going to raise my lid? And I asked Mr. Doris this. I said, I understand the concept behind it, but how am I going to raise my lid? What am I going to do? Look at what type of culture they're installing, and really and truly go back and market, find out what they did, what system did they use. Learn that system, master that system, and use it. But I'm going to sit down and really focus on my vision, my mission, and my strategic purpose, where I'm going. Because I'm beginning to realize that I can do all these things, but if I don't have a vision, if I don't see the end result, then I'm not going to really have a direction or anything like that. I'm going to build something that's not really, I'm not going to say it's not going to be worth it, but it's not going to be what I had in mind. So I've got to be clear in what I want first. And I think Ray was like that too. He was clear in what he wanted. He was clear in what he wanted to do. He was clear in what he wanted to go.